Research consistently shows that a single misunderstood requirement can lead to many hours of rework. Yet, many agile teams still rush through backlog discussions, prioritizing speed over clarity. The result? Stories that miss the mark, features that fail to deliver value, and teams frustrated by avoidable pivots. It's not just inefficient, it's expensive. In teams where communication breaks down, rework can consume a significant portion of time and delivery budget. Studies from IBM and the Chaos Report estimate that 30 to 50% of implementation effort is spent reworking misunderstood requirements. Wasted effort that translates into serious preventable cost. Contributing to the problem is a widespread misunderstanding of what effective backlog management entails. Whether you're using Scrum, Kanban, or another approach, if you're working with a backlog, you need a comprehensive practice to manage it. Backlog management includes three essential activities: creating, workshopping, and refining the product backlog items, called PPIs. It's at this communication junction where assumptions hide, expectations blur, and vague language quietly sabotages delivery. And as the backlog grows, so does the risk. Business representatives juggle shifting priorities. Implementation teams struggle to decode unclear stories. And the pressure to move fast often comes at the cost of real understanding. That's where active listening makes the difference, especially during workshopping, the most commonly misunderstood and skipped or abridged phase of backlog management. Sitting through workshops isn't just about reading stories and throwing out estimates. It's about collectively understanding the problem we're solving. This is the opportunity to think through as many implementation details as possible to uncover ambiguity, implementation challenges, and disconnecting expectations. Teams that ask, what's the user's real pain point? Or how will we know this feature is successful? These are the ones that begin to surface the context that gets buried in assumptions. One of the most effective practices is echoing back understanding. So, what I hear you saying is a simple question that might seem like a small gesture, yet it's often the moment where critical misalignments are caught before they snowball into expensive rework. Teams that use this technique regularly report fewer clarification delays during implementation and significantly higher first pass acceptance tests. This practice is just as vital during story creation and refinement. Stakeholders often jump straight to proposed solutions. We need a dashboard that shows X. And what they really need is insight into a pattern or behavior. Active listening uncovers the intent behind the ask, helping teams explore simpler or more impactful options than stakeholders had ever considered. To make active listening a team habit, try this. First, build intentional pauses into backlog discussions, spaces where reflection and clarification are expected, not rushed. Second, distribute listening as a team responsibility. The business representative, some teams may call them product owners or product request managers. They may guide the session, yet every team member should feel responsible for surfacing confusion and confirming understanding. Third, make the discussion visible. As clarity emerges, capture it. Draw a diagram, jot down key assumptions, create shared acceptance criteria. This gives the team a tangible artifact to really rally behind before implementation even begins. You'll know it's working when fewer stories boomerang back for rework, when mid iteration clarification becomes the exception instead of the norm, and when stakeholders start commenting on how spot on the delivery features are. These aren't just soft wins, they're measurable indicators that active listening is saving you time, money, and frustration. And in the context of AI tools can generate code in seconds, yet they only do what they're told. If the problem itself is misunderstood, AI just makes the wrong thing faster. No matter how sophisticated the tooling becomes, it's the human conversation rooted in active listening that ensures the solution addresses the right need. If these questions give you pause, consider making active listening an explicit part of your next session. It's not a soft skill, it's a strategic advantage. The quality of your product reflects the quality of your understanding, and that understanding begins with how well you listen during backlog management. So think back to your backlog management sessions. Does your team truly align to the intent behind the stories or just assume they did? Were questions encouraged or skipped? Was there room for curiosity or pressure to check the box and move on? Let us know in the comments, especially if you give active listening and backlog management a try and you see some results, whether good or otherwise. And if you'd like to learn more about the four pillars of Agile as a foundation for successful active listening and backlog management practices, click one of these. I'll be happy to tell you all about it.